Karen had a bright future ahead of her. She was very successful, she was humble and trustworthy. She was the daughter many parents wished they had. She was the child her parents called when they needed help. She was very obedient and reliable. Karen had 3 other siblings, but none of those siblings were as reliable as Karen, because they were always busy, but Karen was always available to help anyone who needed her. She was the type of person who made time for people. She would listen to their problems, and sometimes she would even buy groceries from her own pocket for them. Karen loved everyone and she thought everyone loved her as well. Regardless of how good Karen was, her mother did not know her value. She had nothing good to say about Karen. No matter what she did, it was not good enough. She was always complaining about Karen. At 26 years old, Karen found the love of her life, Ken, a handsome single guy who was a very talented carpenter. He lived a simple life in a quiet community. It was love at first sight for both of them, and they wanted to get married as soon as possible. So, in no time they quickly got engaged to each other, but then she quickly discovered that her mother did not approve of her relationship with Ken. Karen's mother Paulette was married when she was young. She had 3 children, and wanted each of them to marry someone who was very successful in the business world. So, when Karen told her that she was getting married to Ken who worked as a carpenter, she was very upset, and she tried everything she could do to separate them. Karen and Ken wanted to start their own family right away, so Karen decided to move away from the family home. But that got Paulette even more upset, and she even went as far to meet Karen's future husband and told him how deceitful and wicked Karen was. But as time passed, Karen and Ken grew closer and closer, and their love was unbreakable. Karen was not only a beautiful woman, but she also had a beautiful heart, so Ken never cared about Paulette's complaints against her. For Ken, Paulette's complaints were never an obstacle, because he did not see Karen like her mother saw her. They eventually tied the knot, but things did not change for Karen. Her family was still not supportive of the relationship with Ken. Karen did not allow all the negative attitude that her family showed towards her to prevent her from loving her family. She loved them despite everything that they did and everything that they said about her. Luckily, there was one person in the family who accepted Karen's decision to marry Ken. It was her father, but unfortunately his support didn't last long, because he died of cancer not long after she and Ken were married. For Karen, it felt as if her world was falling apart. Her beloved father, who tried his best to support her in everything that she did, was dead. Karen took it badly and fell into depression, but Ken, along with the help of Karen's aunts, were very supportive, and she recovered from depression quickly. Her father's sisters were always very supportive because they knew how much Karen loved her father. Karen continued to try her best to make peace with her mother, but no matter what she did, she was the black sheep of her family. Her mother could never recognize her value. She got along well with her siblings and her extended family, but one day Karen became ill and everything changed. Karen was the one who was always calling her family members. She would call them to check if they were okay. She would just call sometimes just to make conversation, because that was the type of person Karen was. She cared about other people. She did not hold grudges against anyone, because family meant a lot to her. There was nothing too big that she would not forgive someone for. But when Karen got ill, some of her family members did not believe that she was ill because she was not bedridden. Some of her family members were very malicious. They were calling other family members to tell them that Karen was lying, and that they should not help Karen by sending money towards her surgery. Karen was heartbroken. She needed a few $1,000,000 to save her life. Her aunts were very supportive. They came together and did what they could for her. They did many fundraising events, but it was not enough to do the surgery. They tried their best to help as much as possible, but they still could not raise enough money to help Karen, and soon they had troubles of their own. Ken could not help Karen because he did not have the resources to finance Karen's surgery, but he tried his best to raise funds for Karen as well, and he stood by her side. Karen was constantly in pain, but she continued to work, so everyone thought everything was okay with her. Her mom gave her a contribution towards her doctor's visit, but she was not as supportive. She never called to find out how Karen was doing. Whenever she called, she was cursing Karen about something or asking Karen to do something for her. Karen felt unloved, but she was determined to live because she wanted to continue helping people. Throughout Karen's illness, she was still taking care of everyone. She was there for her friends, and she continued to support her family by listening to their problems and helping them to find solutions to those problems. She was still helping Ken to care for the elderly. Ken and Karen cared for the elderly. They fed them, and they took care of their personal needs even though they were in need themselves. Karen's situation is similar to what many people are facing today. Their family and sometimes friends do not believe that they need help until they are gone. Karen was consistently crying for help, but her family did not show a lot of concern. Some people will wait until your situation becomes worse before they start taking your case seriously. They wait until you are dead, then they buy you the best casket, buy the best food, and buy the best plot of land to bury you. Most of us have families who are just like that. They are only supportive in death, but not in life. Many people are suffering, but they receive no support because many times people just don't care, or when they do care, it's too late. A dead person cannot benefit from the support you should have given to them while they were alive. Instead of trying to save someone's life, people show more concern when a person is dead rather than support the person while they were alive. That should not be the case. But sadly, a lot of family members are just like that. They will buy a new rifle, go on the most expensive vacation, but they will never try to help a loved one who is in need. Many of us are guilty, but we may never get a chance to turn back the hands of time. Now is your opportunity to take care of your loved ones before it is too late. Will you make a change today? Don't scatter roses after they are gone. Time lost can never be regained.
Thank you.